Hey guys, welcome. Today what we're going to be talking about is the expectation of getting your new started. All right. Now, as a sponsor, it is your responsibility to go over this with them. If you don't understand this, get with your upline so that way you can actually watch them go over it with your new sponsors so that way you understand exactly how to go over it. You should know a little bit about it because you're going to be going through this exact same process as well. So that way you can walk them through it because you'll be going through it, right? But if you're confused, no problem. Get with your upline and do this. But as a sponsor, you should go over this all the time with every new start and take the time to do it. This is very, very important to actually keep them in the business and developing them and helping them grow. Okay. Now, the first thing what I did was I have 11 rules of getting started online so that way you can walk them through it and manage the expectation portion. A lot of people quit because their expectations are not managed, right? So a lot of people want to make $1,000,000, $100,000, 200,000, and all this stuff, right? You can do that, but it is not plausible to do, right? So let's go ahead and manage those expectations before we get started and do everything. So the first thing you want to do is you want to plan your goal, right? That's what they want to do is plan their goal. And write down how much money they want to make. Make it a realistic goal, something that they want to actually make today. Something like that that they can actually work towards making. All right, so I would say something like $3,000, right, or 5,000. A majority of people want to make 10,000, but they don't know. They don't know why they want to make 10,000, which leads me to the second rule of getting started. Like, why you want to make that, right? That's the question. Why do you want to make whatever it is at the top? And actually put some attachment on it because now if you want to make 10,000, you need to know why you want to make 10,000. A lot of people don't need to make 10,000 right away. You might want to make 1,500, or you might want to make 3,000, something like that, right? And now we can actually put an action plan behind that to help you hit that goal. And once you hit that goal, of course we can change the goal again, but we want to get you started the right way, make you understand the action plans that you need to get to make, that extra 1,500, the extra $2,000 or $3,000, right? Now, after you do that, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about number 3, which is hitting your first 25 customers. Now, this is a great goal to start off with simply because now you actually have a guideline to follow. Because if you can hit 25 customers, guess what? You can do 50 customers. Just do the same thing that you did the first time times 2, right? And if you can hit 50 customers, you can hit 100 because you just did 50, right? And the same blueprint that you just followed to do the 50, just do that times 2, right? And it's easy to do that. And also, guys, if we have any type of incentives or anything like that, share that with them so that way that can motivate them to hit those incentives as well, all right? And if you're not sure of any incentives, make sure you get with your upline on it. And also keep your ear out to the company as well, so that way you know what's going on. All right. Now, the fourth thing is you want to actually have a time block set up. Now, the reason why you want to have a time block set up is so that way you can actually work your actual time in the business. Yes, it does take time to work, and you need to have daily time, like an hour a day, 2 hours a day, right, to actually work your business. You can have an hour in the morning, an hour in the evening. To work your business, right? But you do have to have some type of consistent schedule so that way you know you need to get certain work done via prospecting, via posting, via three-way calls and things of that nature. And you need to have a time slot set up to do those money-making activities inside of your business. And make sure they have that. Now, you need to have a calendar as well with that, right? Some people have physical calendars. Some people have digital calendars. Like Evernote and things of that nature. All right. Now, the next part of that, which is your get started rules, is to make a list. All right. Now, what you want to do is you want to make a list of at least 100 people to start. Right. 100 people is not a lot of people. Majority of the people got that in their phone. They also have over thousands of Facebook friends, right, that they don't consider to talk to or whatever. Right. So make a list of the immediate people that you want to talk to, and then so forth and so on. But get that list out there and then walk them through hitting that list, right? It's very important that they contact the list. A lot of people here in business, they'll make the list, but they don't want to contact the list, all right? So it is your duty to just go ahead and give them that extra push and walk them through contacting that list, just like you saw in the videos as far as the prospecting portion, right? Start off with that prospecting sheet, that PDF, right, and go through how to prospect your people. That is all you're doing, is using the prospecting PDF and that video to actually talk to people and get the conversation started with all 100 of those people. You're not selling anybody anything. You're just getting the conversation started. All right, so remember that. Um, After that, you're gonna have to learn to invite people. You're gonna have to learn to invite people to, whether it's a call, whether it's inviting them to the group, right, to prospect them, inviting them to a phone call, inviting them to a webinar, inviting them to an event. It's all the same thing. It's just having that conversation and getting good at inviting people. Remember, the work is good, like the practice is great, but it's better when you're doing it in the field, right? So you want to role play with your team on how to invite someone to an event, a phone call, a webinar, to the group, things of that nature. And always practice that all the time, right? Anytime that you can get a contact with a new person, take a minute or two to role play stuff like that, right? Because that actually helps in the development of your team. All right. If you can do that at least, once or twice a week, that would be great. All right. Now, after that, getting started, number 7, which is knowing your tools. I mentioned one in the previous step. I think step number 5, as far as Evernote, right? We use Evernote. We use Telegram, right? We use Facebook Messenger. Make sure they have those on their phone with the notifications on, so they can get notified of all those things as well, right? And if you have any other tools that you might use inside your business, make sure you have those written down as well to collect information, to make sure your business is efficient and efficiently running, right? So make sure they know their tools, all right? Now, other things, you might have some tools personally that you use that you want to help your team out with, or your new start with, that you're going to work with them on, right? But ultimately, those are the tools that I use. I use Telegram, I use Evernote, and I use Facebook Messenger, right? So it's very, very simple to know your tools. Now, learn to present, which is number 8. Now, you're not going to be good overnight, right? You're not going to be perfect. I remember when I first did it, I messed up everything. I sucked at it, right? It was so funny, hilarious. But as you keep going and progress, you're going to get better. So make sure you practice this all the time. Guess what? When you buy a package, set a pack aside to do demonstrations in home in front of people that you know and love. So that way you can actually get better at it, right? Do it with your sponsor over via Skype, right? Via video messenger on Facebook. So that way they can see how you're doing it. They can help you out. They can correct you. They can critique you and make you get better. All right. So that's one thing you want to do. Remember, practice, 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 practice doing this. So that way when you're actually able to get in front of your friends and family and things like that, and you can have a small presentation at your home, you want to be able to whip it out and do the demonstration and get the message across to them effectively and get them started, right? So that's one of the things to it. So remember, always present and get good at presenting, practicing. All right, the next thing you want to do is you want to learn, number 9, you want to learn how to ask for the sale, right? I know it's crazy, but a lot of people will get people on the fence. They'll see people that's very, very interested, but they don't want to ask for the sale, right? If you follow the process of what we're doing, which is prospecting, adding to the group, instructing, and then after that, what we're doing is the follow-up. A lot of people, they'll be excited, and then they just don't ask for the sale, all right? Go through that. Remember to ask for the sale. When can we get you, do you have any other questions before you get started? That's my go-to close, right? Do you have any other questions before we get you started? Awesome, great. What I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through the process of getting started, all right? You have a computer by you, right? So make sure you role play that with your new start as well throughout this time period. Now, getting started, number 10 is commit daily to presentations, right? Commit daily to presentations. Commit daily to presentations, all right? Now, you need to work this in your business so that way you can understand that you need to do some type of presentations daily, right? Committing daily to doing it. if you want to make 6 figures in the next 12 to 24 months, right? Commit to at least 2 or 3 presentations a day for no less than 5 days a week, right? That's pretty much what the expectations are for making that type of income. And you got to understand this. There are 2 types of incomes in this business. That's one income that comes in one time, right? And there's another income that comes in, which is passive income, right? What we're working towards is passive income. So get committed to doing 2 or 3 presentations daily. Here's what I mean by that as well, is if you're adding 2 or 3 people to the group a day, right? If you're doing this process a day, right? Getting them to that presentation, you don't have to necessarily do the presentation, but if you get them in front of that presentation 2 or 3 times a day, daily, then you're going to actually build a nice sized business because your organization is growing, growing, growing. And guess what? When you get people in to the business, they'll be able to duplicate it because they went through the same process and it's easy for them to understand. That is how you create a 6 to 7 figure business here, all right, in just any network marketing company, all right. Now, the last one is the getting started number 11, which is treat this business like a real business, right? A lot of people don't treat it like a real business. They do it as just a side hustle, right? You don't want to have a side hustle or a side gig, right? You want to actually treat this like a business, right? Invest in yourself, read courses, read books. I actually have a book right here, right? Getting Started Today Matters, right? So John C. Maxwell, Leader 101, get those books, right? You don't have to have physical copy books if you don't want to. You can get Audible books, right? Invest in yourself, right? Learn how to actually do this. Study, study the art of closing, study the art of prospecting, study those type of things, so that way you can actually grow in this business, right? Everything is not on the sponsor to do. Remember that, but it is the sponsor's responsibility to put that information in that person's hand, the new person's hand, and it's their job to actually take it and run with it, right? It is your job to give them the guideline and walk them through the process of how to actually operate. It is their job to take the action. All right. So that is pretty much it. Remember, you are their biggest fan, right? You brought them in the company. You're their biggest fan. So if they need something from you, make sure that you're there to walk them through it. If you don't have the answer, which you probably won't have all the answers, we know that, right? Make sure you get with your upline so that way you can actually so they can help that person get the information. Remember, as far as a sponsor, you don't have to be the greatest sponsor. You just need to know where information is or who has it, right? That is all your job is to do, right? Get the information, or if you don't got the information, make sure you know someone who has it and then get that information over to them. That's all you have to do, all right? And as time grows, you'll get information, right? You'll know the information because they ask the question and you go and you're a great information finder, right? Guess what? You're going to know it, and next time somebody asks you that question, you'll be able to shoot it off to them because now you know the answer to it. All right, so I hope you guys got that. Also, another thing is you want to plug your new start into the phone call. You want to plug your new start into the Wednesday and Thursday phone call. You want to make sure that they're in the group. What else? I got something else. Make sure they understand all of this. All right. And walk them through it constantly. All right. After you walk them through this, you want to follow back up with them. 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months to understand, make sure they got it, and follow them through to help them get their first 10. Not just put people on them. Like walk them through the process of putting their first 10 people into the business or the first 10 people into the group, so that way they understand that process of duplicating this system. All right. So I look forward to seeing you guys. You guys are done with the duplication process. You guys went through the process of prospecting. You went through the process of adding somebody to the group, instructing somebody. Now you finished duplication. You are a rock star. You're ready to rock and roll. I look forward to seeing your development and your success. I'll see you guys in the inside. Take it easy. Peace.